first guest tonight co-hosts the #1 morning show in the country, The Today Show, every weekday right here on NBC. Please welcome our buddy, Matt Lauer. Matt!
I will make you make a baby.
Yes.
That is good stuff.
That's good. That's kind of a creepy line when you think about it. I'll make you make a baby.
How are you going to make her make a baby if you promise also not to sex her up?
I've looked into it. There is a way.
There's a contradiction in this song.
No, there is a way. It's very... I'll talk to you later about it.
How you doing?
I'm good. I mentioned that I think you came on the show the first week, back when no one would come on our show.
I did actually the first interview with you, I think, when you were announced as the host of the show coming to NBC, and we did it in a studio right across the hall, and you were terrific. And
yeah, right. Back then, I was just weeping all the time.
No, you were.
I don't know what I'm doing.
A little embattled, but you hung in there, and it's been fun. I think this is about the 5th time I've been on. It's been great.
That's right. That was like 7 years ago. It's weird now.
Think about that.
How are you? You enjoying the show still, of course?
We're having a great time. I've had kind of a weird month. I mean, in the last couple of months, I've had, Sybil Shepherd on the show. I love the hard news stuff, which is great, but then you get to do these other people. Sybil Shepherd, who
Didn't she wrote a book where she made all these strange confessions, right?
She slept with almost everyone she ever met, and she wrote it in the book. And names. I'm thinking, guys like Don Johnson, who's a nice guy, gets labeled the 5-minute man. I mean, it's just not the things you're going to be proud of.
Does that include conversation beforehand?
Exactly. That's the phone call to set the date up also.
Yeah.
And I've had Madonna.
Let's move on.
Madonna, who basically lied to me and said that she wasn't pregnant, and came out the next day and said that she is 3.5 months pregnant. So you
asked her directly, are you pregnant?
Which I can't blame her for, because a woman has a prerogative to kind of hold that news.
But you asked, and she said...
I asked her 3 times. I said, no, but are you pregnant now? And she said no, and then she made this huge announcement 2 days later, and so I obviously have lied to me written on my face somewhere. And then I had Darva Conger on not too long ago, and she basically lied to me too.
What did she say?
She told me she wanted her life back, and she was going to not do any more publicity, and the next thing I know, she's considering posing for Playboy, and she's showing up at Oscar parties, and she's on every other show.
You know what? Everybody who says I want my life back
is lying.
And they're lying. They're all lying.
Because they all say it on television shows.
Yeah.
So what's the deal there?
The only guy is even the Unabomber likes the fame, now. Even he's like, hey, I'm on TV. I mean, everybody...
Even his brother who turned him in kind of gets a kick out of the coverage.
I hate people.
Do you? People are weird.
Good.
We learn that every day in our line of work. People are very weird.
At least you learn not to put too much faith in Darva Conger.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Took me a while.
She shattered your illusion.
I believed her.
Darva.
Does it turn out she wasn't even in Desert Storm? Didn't she say she was in Desert Storm?
No, she was in the service during Desert Storm, but she didn't go to Desert Storm.
She saw a movie about Desert Storm.
Exactly.
She likes dessert.
Exactly.
With Weatherman Storm Fields. All right. That was stupid. I apologize. It's late in the week. I get giddy. Now, tell us about, you're doing this thing again, which I guess has been very successful.
3rd year in a row, we're doing Where in the World is Matt Lauer, where they send me around the world to secret locations. Last year, I went to Mount Everest. I went to the aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean that was heading into combat, the Great Wall of China, the Colosseum in Rome. The difference this year, though, is that I know the first locations, the first 4, and then the audience has had a chance to go into the website, the Today Show website, and pick my 5th location, and I don't even know that. So they'll send me somewhere on the 5th day that's a surprise to me.
The last thing in the world I would ever do is ask my audience, where do you want me to go? Hey, I'll tell you where you should go.
Actually, wait a second. It's funny because we get emails that are part of the site, and they have a choice of 10 locations to send me, but they sometimes are creative and they like to come up with their own ideas.
Right.
I think Matt should go to a nudist club to dispel the notion that we're all a bunch of nuts. And then she goes on to mention where her nudist club is. I'd like to see Matt eaten by a crocodile as he floats down the Nile. I think Matt should go to hell.
Andy. Have you been playing on your computer again?
He goes on to explain they're talking about Hell, Michigan. And finally, I think it'd be funny if Matt turned up in Katie's apartment having breakfast at her table. But I've been there and done that, so I mean,
Oh,
what are you gonna
Matt.
say? Oh, no.
I like how you picked the one time we have an audience with high moral standards.
Yeah, right.
Our usual audience would be like, yeah, and tonight they're like, well, you're not married to her. That's not right. So now sometimes...
But they didn't laugh at, I'll make you make a baby. They were okay with that.
It's a catchy tune. You're going to be singing that. You're going to hate yourself.
What is it, Dudes
You'll be in the shower
Aplenty?
later on, and you'll be humming it. That's an infectious
Dudes aplenty.
Dudes Aplenty with a Z and an
And
I.
I saw them out in the hall rehearsing, and they're taking this kind of seriously. They really are.
I intend to make a lot of money off with these kids.
Yeah, right. At the expense of these kids.
Yes. It's important. I'm going to make, finally, I'm getting off this death shift. Yeah. This
And
late-night death shift.
He's got to make it work because that money's already spent, too.
I know. I have a gold hat collection. Last year, I guess there was kind of a disaster when you did this Where in the World is Matt Lauer? Because they sent you, where did they send you to?
Mount Everest. And
Right.
I got stuck on Mount Everest. We got kind of fogged in and then snowed in, so I had to spend the night in this place called Tangboche at 14,000 feet. And,
That would be so embarrassing to die as part of like a cute segment. You know what I mean? Like, where in the world is Matt Lauer? He's gone! What happened?
The worst thing was, you're at 14,000 feet and you take these pills for altitude sickness, which are diuretics, which make you go to the bathroom.
Right.
So in the middle of the night, you're stuck in this rat-infested little plywood shack you're sleeping in, and now you're drinking water all the time because you have to for the altitude, but the pills are kicking in. So every 35 minutes, you're waking up. It's 20 degrees outside. It's snowing. You're on Mount Everest, and you have to go outside to go to the bathroom in these fields where these yak are roaming around. And I'm with my wife. And my wife, I have to tell you, is the best sport. We would wake up, and I'd say, you too? And she'd go, yeah, I got to go. And so we'd throw the boots on, throw the parka on, and go out 100 yards from this tent we're in, and go to the bathroom in this field.
But think about it. It's diarrhea at the top of the world. Which is the best way, probably the most romantic way to have it, you know?
Suffice it to say, we were very happy to get off Mount Everest. It was not the best weekend of our marriage.
Do you bring food? I mean, I don't mean to sound like xenophobic,
No.
but the food in some of these places can be kind of
From
bad.
Mount Everest, for a weekend, we ate beefaroni in a can. We cook it on a stove. We'd cut the top off it, put it on a stove. We went to the Taj Mahal.
That's a great. Let's have diuretic and beefaronis. Mix it right in there together.
At the Taj Mahal, our producer had been there for about 2 weeks before I got there, and when he met us at the plane, he lost about 25 pounds, and he was white as a ghost. So at the Taj Mahal, all we ate, we had 2 Snickers bars and 2 bottles of water. So again, this is not the kind of trip where you're staying in the wonderful hotels and living and eating the great food. It's a long week, but
is this the last year you're going to do this?
This sounds like the last year I'm going to do it.
Why don't they? I mean, you could make them send Roker someplace.
Where in the world is Al Roker?
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah,
I'm the host of the show, right? I've got that power.
Exactly. You have the power to go like, next year, Al, you're going. You know? Grab some beefaroni. That's my tip. Well, Where in the World is Matt Lauer is going to be seen on the Today Show the week of May 1st.
And we're going to be in Vietnam the Friday before for the 25th anniversary of the fall of Saigon. So we're going to take Senator John McCain back to Hanoi,
cool.
actually, to the Hanoi Hilton, where he was a prisoner for 5 years. So it should be...
That'll be intense.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Well, thanks very much for
Good
being
to see
here.
you always.
Oh, and
Pleasure.
continued success.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on everything.
See you.
Matt Lauer, everybody. We'll take a break. Omar Epps is coming up. We'll be right back.